A bus went by. Its back draft rocked the van, and light from the windows raked the interior, breaking her thoughts. There was a bleat. It came from the dog strapped into the jump seat behind her on the passenger side. She had installed the seat especially, because if he travelled beside her in the front, he risked being killed by the airbag. In the dim light, the little beige poodle, the size of a cat, could be a ghost dog, a blurred shape with dark brown eyes. Stella had forgotten about Stanley. She wasn't cut out to own a dog, just as well that she would be giving him back soon. "We're here," she remarked as she unclipped him. He climbed onto her shoulder, and she manoeuvred them both out of the van. On her way from her mother's flat in Barron's Court, unsettled by the silent, empty rooms, Stella had wished she could go to Terry's and empty her inbox over a microwaved shepherd's pie. Nothing personal. Jackie was a friend, and Stella liked her husband Graham and their 2 sons, but she didn't fancy company. However, the Makepeace family wouldn't require her to join in. They did the talking, leaving her free to eat, and then Jackie would let her wash up. Jackie was minding Stanley for the night, while Stella went to fetch her mum from the airport. "You like it here," she said, as the dog jerked the lead taut and snouted towards Jackie's gate. Stanley was left over from a relationship of the sort her mum called a wrong turning. Stella had wanted to refuse. Dogs were liable to cause mess. But, months into minding the dog, she decided that relationships caused more mess. The house next door to Jackie's was up for sale. Jackie was worried about this. The man living there now had been there since he was a boy, and Jackie said he was a sweetie, kind and gentle. She hoped the new owners would be as nice. Stella thought again how living in a flat at the end of a corridor meant that, apart from the rare times she met anyone in the lift, she could avoid knowing her neighbours. Clutching a white wine, plucked from the chiller cabinet in Darius Adamek's mini-mart beneath her office, Stella took the dog over to a sycamore tree by Jackie's gate to lift his leg. The tree trunk was thinner than the others in the street. Jackie had told her the tree replaced one that came down in the 1987 hurricane and crushed their car. She rummaged in her pocket and gave Stanley a biscuit as reward for peeing outside, to reinforce his toilet training, as she'd been told at his obedience class. Something fluttered to the ground. It was the paper she had found under a cushion at her mum's flat. Jack had cleaned the flat many times during her mum's 6-week absence, but the paper was caught under the back of the sofa. The dog had been whining, and when she gave in and pulled away the cushions, he had truffled out a bone-shaped biscuit. The paper was next to it. The writing was her mum's: Dale Heffernan, 38 Fisher Avenue, Vaucluse, likes sailing and B. Springsteen, dislikes having time on his hands. During the first week her mum was away, Stella slept with her phone under her pillow, expecting the call informing her Susie was clinging to life. She'd even looked up St. Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. There had been no call at all. Passing up Skype or email, Susie sent 2 postcards to the office, which Beverly, the admin assistant, stuck on the pinboard reserved for staff holiday messages. The sun was hot, and there was a possum in her friend's attic. Love to Stanley. In the second card, she'd wasted space with advice about the client database she'd built, but had sent love to Stella. Stella had told Jackie she didn't miss her mother. However, she found the comparative quiet at work uncomfortable. She missed the daily task list, and the weekend calls informing her that Stanley wanted a walk in Richmond Park, as if her mum and the dog had conferred. Before Terry's death, Stella might have welcomed the break from her mum's grumblings and demands. Now, she wanted everything to be back to normal. She stuffed the paper back in her pocket. Dale Heffernan was probably an ex-client. Jackie and Graham Makepeace had lived in the 1920s semi for 30 years. Graham had made their gate. Their initials, J and G intertwined, were carved into the beech struts. Jackie and Graham were still in love.